There she is, our latest adventure. That's right, we bought a new to us double stacker race trailer. But first things first, we've got to take this baby to Les Schwab to make sure her bits and pieces are safe for a life of travel, since we've got some big plans in the works. Stay tuned to find out more.
Wherever I go, I will always know everything I need is right here with me. It's time to let it all go.
Today is the day. Kris, Nick's little brother, is meeting us here in Sacramento. He's bringing a U-Haul of all of his belongings up from Huntington Beach, and he's going to move into our spare trailer, which is not yet built out for him. For the time being, the boys are meeting up at about 10 o'clock tonight to transfer this stuff from Kris's U-Haul to our trailer, which we are going to continue to keep moving up to Oregon to drop off some of the larger items he wants to hang on to before he moves into the trailer. And then they're gonna get to work putting in a spot for him to sleep, a bed, a bathroom, some storage area, and his car is also gonna fit in there. We're gonna put that inside the trailer. As it's a double stacker race trailer, there's plenty of room for all of that. But for tonight, he's going to be sleeping on our dinette, and he will be joining our journeys from now on, or at least an indeterminate amount of time. That is up to him. We are just bringing him along for the journey, see how he likes this lifestyle. There you have it, our guest bedroom. We only have queen size sheets, so they're a little bit big for this little dinette table, but Kris has slept here many of times. If you've watched any of our past episodes, he visits us a few times a year. So he's quite used to this accommodation until we get him something a little better. We'll have to see if we can get him to tell all of you his story one of these days. I'm not quite sure if he's comfortable with that yet. We would love it if he would share his story with all of you so you could hear his background a little bit and why he's on the road with us now.
Well, this is Kris's trailer. So we're gonna build an elevated storage right above me here today, and we're gonna put some of our stuff up in the elevated storage, and then all Kris's stuff is gonna go down here, and then we're gonna go up to Oregon and start building out this trailer for Kris to live in. It's gonna be a bathroom that's gonna go over there, a sink over there, maybe a fridge next to the bathroom. There's going to be a lift bed that goes up and down right here with some couches for a dinette right underneath it. It'll be a nice system, so he'll be able to pull his car in here when the bed's up, and we'll tow his car around, and then he pulls his car out, and it's a beautiful living space. I'm gonna put windows on all the walls and on the door. Should be quite beautiful. I'm excited. This is gonna be really cool. So right now we've got all Kris's stuff in there, but we've got to pull it out, and then once we pull it out, we're gonna make the elevated storage area, and then we'll put everything back in a way that his car fits, and then we got to put his car in there. So that's what we're doing. So maybe we should take the bed down. What are we doing? This is a temporary backing plate to just keep all the stuff that's in there, and keep boards from sliding this way or that, because they are not currently bolted down.
Today's the first day we've got the camper on the truck and the trailer behind it. Right now the boys are currently hooking it up, so let's head outside and see what they're doing.
We did it. You got any wise words to say after all that? Yes! That was beautiful.
All right, here we go. It's been a tight squeeze having all of us in there, so looking forward to getting the trailer built out, giving Kris his own space, and traveling on the road together. On our way up to Oregon, we decided to make a quick overnight stop at one of our favorite boondocking places, Mount Shasta.
So this is Jim and Mary. We met them on our way up to the Upper Panther Meadows trailhead as the sun was setting. Quite spectacular. We've had an incredible conversation, and they were crazy and trusting enough to join us on this night hike through Panther Meadows, not having any idea who we are or what we were doing or where we were going. And you know what? I feel like this is a lifelong friendship. It was meant to be, and I'm so happy to have met you guys.
I've never been on a night hike before, so I'm very happy to try this.
Hey, it's very fun to just sort of walk along and
Yeah.
going with the flow and seeing where the flow takes.
Mm.
Okay.
Someone should cross a tree and a jellyfish.
Ooh.
You wouldn't have to die. Like where your head.
All right, so second day pulling our trailer. We spent the night at Mount Shasta last night on our way up to Bend, Oregon, and it's not been a good trip so far. First, we got a hole in one of our tires, a flat. We decided it was holding air enough to try and get over the hill to get to a tire shop to have it repaired. And then we just found out we lost another tire. So it actually vibrated out the lug nuts and the tire is completely gone. So the boys patched up the hole in the one tire, and they just took off with the Subaru, Chris's car, in the trailer to see if they can locate the other tire, because we can't drive like this. So not good news for us, but I'm sure we'll make it through. We'll figure it out, and wish us the best of luck, because we're mighty far, 150 miles from the nearest tire shop. As you can see here, the problem with replacing the tire is that the lug nuts were actually sawed off. Not really sure how that happened, but take a look at this. So not really sure how we're gonna get those out of there. Not sure if we can limp it along 150 miles. We can try calling AAA. It might take all day for them to come out here. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're just past the town of Weed in Northern California. So we'll see what we can do. We're on the side of the highway right now. I might give them a call while the boys are looking for the other tire. So I can still hear a slow leak out that other tire. Nick said it was at 50 psi, which might be enough to limp it along, but if they take too long, there's not gonna be enough air in there to keep driving on it. So we threw our compressor out this morning because it died. So we didn't even have an air compressor.
Okay, all right, we'll just start heading your way then, I guess. Yeah, they're dexters, I don't know. Well, at least that's the drum. These axles have experienced high temperature changes. They're carrying a heavy load, and we got all Kris's stuff in there. They probably got hot. It was like 110 degrees yesterday, driving down the highway. And then we went up to the top of Mount Shasta, and it dropped down to what, 60 degrees and 50 degrees at night. That temperature change and the fact that those lugs were recently put on there, it's very possible that the lugs started to loosen a little bit, and then we had jackknifed the trailer for comfort, and it was on dirt, it was uneven, and with all the weight and all the pieces of this puzzle come together all at once, I think that it weakened the studs, and then got to going down the highway and they gave up. They sheared off. That's my guess. I mean, I don't really know if that's what happened or not. We're moving along. We've made it 10 miles now without this tire on there.
The next town.
We're gonna go to Klamath, and I've already talked to Les Schwab. They've got everything that we need. I tried to have a service truck sent out, and they didn't really have what they needed to fix the studs. So it was either hire a low bed, come out and put this trailer on the low bed, which would have cost a fortune, or do what we're doing now and just cross our fingers and hope for the best. We're going really slow. We've got a whole line of cars behind them, giving them every opportunity I can to pass. We're only doing about 45, 55 mile an hour roads, so let's let these guys go. I imagine we'll probably make it. We pulled Kris's car out of the trailer, which is the heaviest thing in there by far, and he's following me as a pilot car. So he's got his hazards on and making sure everything stays safe. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We'll either make it or we don't. Figure if I'm going to spend the money on a low bed, I might as well shear both axles off, right? Not a lot out here. This couldn't have happened in a worse spot. But the important thing is we all kept our heads cool, held it together, came up with a plan, and we're putting safety first. So, wish us luck. Hope you make it.
I'll sit and tell you that it'll be okay. Don't have all the answers right now, but maybe someday. Oh, 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 oh,
Alright, we made it 30 miles less swab. Now we're just waiting our turn in line, and hopefully they can fix up our tire and we can make it to Oregon for dinner. We'll keep you guys posted as we make progress and move along. Alright, so we got our tires fixed, brand new tires. They're retorquing them after we drove around the block. So now we're gonna continue our journey all the way up to Bend this evening. And stay tuned. Let's see what happens next with this trailer.
We finally made it to Bend, Oregon safely, and construction on the trailer has begun. Kris now has his own bed and some space to call his own. Don't forget to tune in next week to see where our adventure leads us next. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next Tuesday on another adventure.
The now and the ow and the o and the oh. Just the now.
You guys are getting it, man. That's our message to the world.